Hey folks, today we are going to look at how to fight fish using a Centerpin. A technique that can be a little bit intimidating, but frankly pretty easy once you get the hang of it. We're at the Franklin Club today, lots of fish around, so great opportunity to get a few fish on film here and kind of show you what you want to be looking at doing. So what we're going to do to start, we're going to pitch out our float and everything else and wait for a bite. Big thing here, notice I've got a good strong grip on the rod. I can use my forearm here a little bit or tuck it up under my arm so I have good grip on it. I can set that hook powerfully, and you'll notice that I've got my fingers on that spool ready to go. If I was drifting here, I would have a looser grip. Here we're just fishing still water, so I've got a little bit of a tighter grip, but regardless, I'm ready to go here, so I have control of that spool before any pressure needs to be put on a fish. You'll see on that hook set, I didn't wail on it. I gave it a snappy little check. There we go. That's all you need to get into that fish. So you want to pinch down. The great thing, pinch down the spool is, the great thing about these rods is they're giant shock absorbers. So I'll see if I can get that in frame. They have so much bend in them that I can actually afford to not do a lot here. The biggest thing when you hook fish on a Centerpin is to not freak out. That fish can run away from you a bit, and because that rod can bend so much, the rod can absorb some of that without you snapping the fish off. And likewise, if the fish charges at you and you have a good bend at it, it can recover a lot of that tension so you don't lose tension on it. That said, if a fish does want to go, you're going to have to let it take a little bit of line. This one I've pretty well got in here, but I would be able to let that line slide a little as need be, and then I can always lock it up again with my fingers there and winch down to it. See, a lot of people, they baby fish too much. Reel down to it, use the flex of the rod to protect your leader, but fight them out off the butt of the rod. Feel like it's bending at least sort of into the midsection there. It's going to be easier to keep tension on the fish, and you're going to be able to control that fish way, way better. And then lastly, when we go to land this fish, I don't want it to be too short, meaning I don't want that line from the tip of my rod down to the fish to be so short that the rod's bent right over itself. I want it to be a little shorter than the rod so I have control, but long enough that when I actually do come down here to try and land it, I don't have to bend that rod right over on itself. So I'm gonna dip out frame here for a sec. Grab our net, give it a scoop. Yeah, not a massive fish, but real pretty one. Nice hook set. I'll have to fight another day. So that's the gist. Basically, biggest thing when you're fighting these fish, don't freak out. Be ready in the first place. Have a good grip on the rod so you have control when you need to set the hook. Have your fingers in the right spot, so just over sort of on the rim of the reel here so that you can pinch down. But then once you have it on, take a second, assess what that fish is going to do and try and react from there. Don't be in a rush to do anything crazy, and you should be in good shape.